So, am I consciousness? Answer is yes, but we have to discover and realize. So, what happens when I discover and realize? First, I see the entire world. Everyone is that real self. It is like a wave. One wave realizes that it is all water. So, how that wave has to perceive the other waves. But other waves are behaving in a different way. Let it be so. Then what? Then what? Jerry at one time, Dennis at other time proposed that we should continue the Mondays and Thursdays for the Jerry. And Dennis, oh, let us continue. It was not out of the blue. There was something burning inside. And that is expressed outside. And we are continuing the journeys on Mondays and Thursdays. The same thing happened with the Saturdays. The guy 4 years ago said, no, 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 this is what. But I could see in him the excitement. After that, he left. When I said that we all are consciousness, oh, that is done. Now I understand. So many a times our topic in the last session was superimposition. So many a times it happens in our life that there is no superimposition at all, and in those moments our expression, our thought, our speech, our action is absorbed into that higher state of the consciousness. It is possible. It is possible. I gave you the example that, before taking a bath, my mind, not only my mind, but my hands used to reach here, oh, let me remove my glasses to take a bath. So mind continues those impressions and superimpositions. So today I was also there, and today the mind has the information, but my hands were not raised. I know your behavior is like that, but my mind has only a dry information. It is not emotionalized, it is not reacted, so you are living in the real self. Are you getting it? that is very important to understand. And I gave that understanding with reference to the 4 stages of examination in the oldest university, that is, I referred you to Nalanda University. And I explained you by the movie and the screen analogy. 1982, I was searching for some teacher to guide me, and I landed up into my master's monastery. So I prostrated, I touched his feet. That is my regular way of respecting these teachers. So he looked into me, and I had the tears looking at him. And he said, he didn't do any marketing. He said, I'm mad. Whenever you feel like coming, you are welcome. That was the only conversation I had. So I returned to the capital, I went back, and that is how you recognize and realize that what lies within. In that reference, that is what I referred about Jerry and the Dennis. So many a times it happens that you are not doing anything and the superimposition is gone. Then you just see the vast consciousness because the mind does not recognize, so we return back to the superimposition. But in order to drop that superimposition, I told you, in Nalanda University, the gatekeeper is very well educated. He's at a higher level of a seeker who conducts the first test, who is well versed in yoga, meditation, and the text. The second you are entry into the, then you get the entry into the welcome hall. Second examination about your behavior, attitude. My master used to say that it is always good to don't judge, because if you judge from the very first impression, it is all about superimposition. You constantly interact, find out, constantly interact for a couple of weeks and the months, and then you will come to know the nature of a person. The behavior and the attitude remains the same, sincerity remains the same. Otherwise, couple of people say, "Oh, my teacher, I love you." Now, what you have learned? You have not learned anything. Simply saying my teacher will not work. And then at the final, once you cross the four examination, then you enter into it and you don't want to leave the journey until you reach to that state, because you have been experiencing the moment you drop the superimposition, you are free. You are free. We are going into a another principle, and I will make it more clear. We have been understanding this superimposition and desuperimposition. Delusion. I have used the word delusion. So now see that, it is not only my mind superimposes, the world outside is also present. So the how the world interacts with my mind and creates a superimposition. And behind the world and the individual, there lies an existence. So it means there are three factors. You can see the existence, the supreme consciousness, individual consciousness, and the world. How they interact, what happens? What happens? What happens that in the evening there is a rope. A rope is present in the world outside, but my mind perceives it as a snake. Why? Why it happens? How it happens? How the world, so when I understand the very nature of the world outside, which I cannot change. The wall, wall is wall. Wall will remain wall. You destroy it, but still it is a matter. You don't change. So if I understand all the three factors, individual consciousness, that is, as an individual, universal consciousness, it is the world outside, world of name and the form, and the supreme consciousness, the existence which is untouched by any factor, then we understand that how the mind has related today, and I got angry, how the mind not relating with the delusion, there is no anger, so then it leads to awakening inside me. So what are those factors we have to understand? So first, there is a illusion of direct experience. It is a direct experience. We say, I see you and you see me. You are the world, I am an individual, consciousness is behind. Are you getting it? We are going deeper. Deeper. Illusion of direct experiences. When I say, I have experienced it, I know. It is my experience. It is my personal experience. My personal experience may also be an illusion. And one of the factor is missing. We mistake the changing external world for the ultimate reality, forgetting the unchanging consciousness that is present behind it. I am also changing, mind is changing, my perception is changing, and then I'm looking at the world outside. The world is also changing, but something happens deep inside my head. I say, oh, it twists the facts. It twists the fact and it says it is unchanging. So there is a mixture of unchanging and the changing. There is a mixture. Ah, did you understand? Now let me give you a normal day example. I love you, honey. So I love you, honey is unchanging expression plus the changing. I overlook the changing part, I stick to the unchanging, and that causes the problem in relationship. Superimposition. And it happens to anything and everything. You are perfect, your 2020 vision, no worries. I said, this is 66-year-old machine, you know. There is a changing aspect also. So doctor, first time he did not understand what you are talking, which machine? I said, this is an old machine. So he thought that machine by which he is testing is so old. No, I just got it new. I said, I'm talking about this machine. Oh, okay. This machine is constantly changing. So my mind has superimposed that I will continue to live forever with reference to the body, with reference to the mind. But this body has seen many repairs, it has taken many pills, it has undergone many pains and pleasure. Terry? Like you, like me. It is the same body. It is the same body. So that illusion of direct experience, we will understand by the three factors: the individual, the universal, and the supreme consciousness. So once we understand, our life will be beautiful. And I also discussed about the superimposition. Our perceptions are often distorted by our projection and assumptions, leading to an illusion of reality. He is good, he is not good. That is okay. Because that is a critical evaluation, you can do it. But at the same time, behind it, I know that you both are real self. That is what I discussed last time. The screen never changes, the movie changes. One movie, you are good, other movie, you are bad, but it is still a movie. To recognize that it is still a movie, I can get rid of the superimposition. Otherwise, what happens? I have a negative belief about a particular social group or a person. I have a positive belief about that person, and it disturbs your mind too much. It keeps on superimposing different ideas, thoughts, and then it does not, it prevents you, it causes the impurity. So that is what Master says. The superimposition creates an obstacle that prevents us from seeing the true nature of the thing. Again, I'm reminding you, true nature of the thing. True nature, only one consciousness, all pervading, eternal. Truth. Why it is truth? It is unchanging. Why it is eternal? It was present in the past, it is present now, it will be present in the future. By inference, by analysis, by deduction, we can understand that. And so, what is preventing me to recognize that which is already present? My attachment. My attachment, my strong likings and dislikings, my duality and a conflict in me. My duality and a conflict in me. So, it is preventing my inner peace and the wisdom. Another way to look at the superimposition, the feeling. Now, another part that is also very important, that is how we relate to the world outside. Keep in mind, because we are going deeper, individual, universal, supreme consciousness, the two are constantly changing. Individual and the world outside, I perceive it, but the supreme consciousness that is unchanging. It is present here also, it is present in the world also. But I am not able to see it. It's a greater superimposition, or you can say illusion, or Maya. We talk about the Maya. I'll talk later about the Maya. Now, I perceive the world with the superimposition. What happens in my mind? I have a sense of incompleteness. So, how to feel and experience the sense of completeness? Mind has to go outside. Mind has to pick the objects of pleasure to feel the sense of completeness. And this journey begins at the time of the birth and it continues until the death. Objects of pleasure changes, objects of pain changes, but a sense of incompleteness continues. It is one of the greatest superimposition. So sense of incompleteness remains even you are getting carried away by attachment that you are my soulmate, the sense of incompleteness continues. Tell me if it is not there. The sense of completeness cannot go how much you love your partner or friends or parents if the mind has a running chase to the material world. That is why we have to understand the relationship between the two and how to deal with it. That is why another subject matter this master is taking up. So I'm just giving you a couple of understanding before we will use that word. So it means the mind, as long as I experience the sense of completeness, I will wake up and start acting. All my actions, all my thought, all my speech, all my actions are redirected to bridge this gap, to dissolve this, to drop this sense of incompleteness because of the superimposition. And this superimposition, the journey continues. I gave you 8 steps of impurities of the mind. Not only the delusion, the attachment, the pride, the anger, hesitation, duality, conflict, all enters in our head. And if we don't cultivate the discernment and detachment, solution cannot be found. That is why we also practice meditation. But this master says you need not to practice meditation, simply understand, ask the mind to live into that awareness. How the mind can be acting as a superimposer, and the same mind can also act as a desuperimposition. First, the mind is a filter. The mind role in shaping the reality. Our mind acts as a filter through which we perceive the world. It colors our experiences with our past conditioning, belief, biases. This creates a distorted or incomplete view of reality. Are you getting it? Our mind filters through our belief. It colors one belief, it colors with one religion, it colors with lot of attachment and likes and dislikes. I am not able to perceive the world, the entire world, without any filter. So my filter is different than you, your filter is different than me. So I have differences. That is what we say. No, this is my understanding. This is the way I understand, and that is the way I understand. I am still living into the changing world. I have yet to recognize the highest level, highest supreme consciousness. And this happens all the time. This happens all the time. Or we can say the identification of the mind with the thought, emotions. No, I have an urgent work, so I will do this. My work is urgent. That work is different than your work. Differences are there, but behind that there is a sense of incompleteness. If I fulfill this, I'll be happy. And you have done this millions of times. If I buy this car, I'll be happy. If I buy this house, I'll be happy. I'm single, I'm getting married, I'll be happy. I will divorce, I'll be happy. I will put on this shirt, I'll be happy. At the deepest level, there is a sense of incompleteness. We don't recognize. It comes by superimposition, it comes by delusion. Why it is a delusion? I told you the individual is there, the world outside is there, and the supreme consciousness is there. That individual is searching in the changing universe for a self-fulfillment to remove the incompleteness. It is not possible. What is changing? You cannot have a sense of completeness. Honey, you have changed a lot. Why don't you see yourself? You have also changed a lot. You see the perfect example of superimposition. You have also changed a lot. I don't see that. I don't see that. I feel that I'm constant. So there is a mixture. That constant is the supreme consciousness. And I have changed so much. I don't see that. Delusion. That is one of the major problems in our relationship. And it is aggravated. Mind wants to continue by a constant chatter in my head. The mind keeps on, oh, look at this, my honey is not doing this, what should I? I explained you perhaps in the Thursday session, the password protected. Yes. So that area is password protected. Oh, he's not listening, what should I do? But outer expression, you are my honey. A greater superimposition. Are you getting it? We have to understand. No, no, I'm not able to. I'm not able to take care of my body. My body. I'm just talking with reference to territory. No, no, you are not the body. So first I'm the body, and then I start looking at the body. I'm projecting. I want to fulfill the completeness, which is not possible. Projection. Projection at a very deeper. It's a contagious disease. You look at the couple kissing each other. Oh, that is really a life. That is really this mind constant chatter. It is going on of which I'm not aware at all. What you are thinking now, you are listening first level. What is happening to you at the second level? So that at the second level, your belief, your understanding, your level of awareness, your level of attention gives the interpretation, and that is your experience of listening to me. Third level is the vasana, the prarabdha. I told you that we are trying to understand what is this individual, the world, and the supreme consciousness. Oh, we take this mind a step ahead. We ask the mind, do you see the, I gave you the example last week, movie in the screen. Do you, and it is evident completely that there is a screen that never changes, and there is a movie that plays. You can play any movie. You can play the movie of anger, you can play the movie of pleasure, you can play the movie of sleep, you can play the movie of waking up, you can play the movie of differences and harmony, and or you can play any movie. The screen does not change. Look at it. The movie represents ever changing external world. Now that is the external world. Where now we are focused on understanding the individual, the world, and the supreme consciousness. So we indirectly hinted the screen as something which never changes. It is the same in every human being. Answer is yes. So we have to reach to that point where I can see clearly. I see you as a changing, but at the same time I also see it is a direct experience of the screen also. Did you understand the movie of pleasure or movie of attending this session? That is also a movie, but behind that there is something that is unchanging. So it means superimposition is the act of projecting my own interpretation, my belief and assumption onto the world outside for interaction, and that very interaction, which is a movie, is called the superimposition, and it hides my real nature. Have you heard why you see the world with your glasses, colored glasses? We always see the world outside with our colored glasses. We don't perceive the things as they are. How long the movie? 1.5 hours. Movies in US and no, Hindi movies are more than 3 hours long. More than 3 hours. So in 3 hours, I see something, and after 3 hours, I see nothing. My mind continues with those plots and plays of the movie, in our actual life of pain, pleasure, problem, duality, conflict, disease, and lot of. But screen is in front of you. Why don't you see it? Screen is in front of you. Mind, when is totally absorbed into that screen, metaphorically, that state is known as the emptiness. Emptiness or nothingness does not mean that you don't see the world. If you are not able to see the world, if you don't able to think, you are dead. So the definition of mindfulness or emptiness is totally different. That is where I'm taking you to. Because mind has experienced the superimpositions due to the sense of incompleteness in me, projecting a sense of completeness outside, so it wants to remain engaged. That is why we have a wandering and distracted mind, otherwise, you don't have it. Let your mind choose and decide, determine that this sense of incompleteness cannot be fulfilled by the world outside, your mind will remain calm, empty. The moment any thought comes, check. Thought is always with an object, knowledge of an object. What is that knowledge of an object? What is that knowledge? Knowledge of having some kind of a pleasure in that object. That object may be my honey, maybe a car, maybe attending the session, maybe anything, maybe sleep, maybe waking up. There is a tail attached to it, the sense of incompleteness. We are not free that there. So Master says, making a big statement, every action in the world coming from that sense of incompleteness, it blinds us. Blinding superimposition. Then what I'm doing, because of the superimposition, I'm seeking the happiness outside. That is what I explained to you. We miss the screen while watching the movie. I don't see there is a coexistence of two things. False I and the real I, they both live together. So it means I have to understand the false I and the real I with reference to the world outside and with reference to the existence. Three factors are very important. Sit down every day, listen to it, and then start thinking. Let us look. Not even thinking, you see that, I see the wall and I see the screen. Awareness, awareness, knowledge. Awareness is knowledge. So that knowledge says that I see the screen, but how? By the eyes. But how I say that it is a screen? I have a memory in the mind. But how the mind always gives some concept by the language. You see, I'm just helping you to how this is the way to contemplate. Oh, because if I don't have a word for the monitor here, okay, let me get rid of the monitor first. So monitor is not there. Let monitor is there. Monitor is not there in the mind. So I was wearing the colored glasses is gone. Then I can recognize what is not changing. I'm just giving some ideas what we are going to do at a deeper level. on Saturday's sessions. Three factors. We get caught up in the curated images and highlight reels of other lives, leading to the feeling of inadequacy and envy. We focus on the number of likes in social media, equating them with our own value. There is another problem has come up. Dual reality. Screen versus the movie. Screen versus the movie. Why we are saying that screen versus the movie? So movie related to the false eye, movie related to the real eye. Oh, it's changing. I am unchanging. Just in the beginning, you think, you perceive, and you see what happens. So from the individual, I got two parts: real eye, false eye. False eye looks at the movie, always enjoying movie, which you like. So there is an element of likes and dislikes, duality and a conflict, pleasure, a stress, everything is there, waking up and but suddenly this false eye recognizes that there is a screen unchanging. Your false eye also shifts to the real eye. Why? That screen and the real eye is the same. That shift, this master is saying, the higher state of meditation. That shift is possible. That is known as revelation, revealing. Same mind reveals. That is why in the very beginning, I said 4 or 5 years ago, the Jerry proposed that, oh, let us start with our sessions twice a week. Expression, everything, was casual, but I saw that she had that awareness and she had that potential. And the same thing happened with Dennis. Others, everyone is good. I'm not saying that everyone is not good. But many others wanted to negotiate. Negotiating mind is a superimposition. Proposal mind is not negotiable. That is the only difference. But people ultimately change to them. Change there. Change there. So what is happening? I told you that false eye, the real eye, and the movie and the screen behind it. So there is something that is unchanging in me, and there is something changing in me. The same thing outside also. So there are four aspects. So it means that truth is partially known, partially unknown. Is an example, metaphor given by this master. There are 50 students. One of them whose father also hears, but not clearly understands that this is what it is. If you recall that. So superimposition has to be, not only has to be understood, but it has to be understood with reference to. Now we will define the individual, we will define the world outside, and we will define the supreme consciousness. And then we see how they are related, when and where superimposition takes place. So if I'm conscious, if I'm aware of it, finished. I gave you one example. Before going to the bath, and today my mind said, okay, mind said now, no more take your hands here because you don't wear the glasses now. That information will remain in the mind, but it has no relevance. It has only for the sake of information. Why I'm saying so? You will see the body is constantly changing, mind is changing. There are millions of projections. You are settled into that state of the consciousness. Finished. And that mixture I gave you many a time. Is there a light present? Yes, light is present. Do you see my left hand? Yes. But now, do you see anything? No, I see nothing. I forget the light. Light is still there. So my mind has a feeling of incompleteness. By default, it is searching some object outside for the sense of completeness. Now there is a left hand. Yes, there is a left hand. Where is the light? Oh, light is also present. That light is the screen on which every play is taking place. What are those movies? My waking state, my sleep state, my dream state, my pleasure, my pain, my duality, my conflict. They are just the movies. Have you seen the movie? Maybe Indian movies are 3 hours long, but have you seen any movie 6 hours, 10 hours? But this movie is continuous. There is no break. Hence, I'm not able to recognize what is real. It continues. After sleep, waking after waking up, sleep, and then dream. And then we have dreams of many times. In waking state, we have many situations, many relations, and the mind is continuously busy. Our masters are pointing out this. Just be aware, just check. Pay attention to my left hand is there, but also recognize it is, I recognize your left hand in the presence of the light. Maintain an awareness that there are two things, the light and the left hand. And the mind is experiencing the left hand. Now, what the mind is experiencing? Mind is experiencing the light. Do I need any thought? No. No feeling, no thought, no superimposition. It is direct. It is direct. But because of the projections, because of the superimpositions, my false eye declares that there is nothing. It is there. Close your eyes. We will continue our journey. Yadidiham prathakritya chati vishramyatishthasi. I will pick up another verse for meditation later. Every thought that strikes your ears, you heard it and you understand it, is one thing, movie. And awareness of each word and sentence and understanding is totally another. Am I clear? If that is clear, your eyes are closed. So your mind leaves all the superimpositions and feels there is a mixture. Any object received from all these sense organs has to do with movement, changing aspect, and behind that there is an awareness. That is the end of meditation. But we will go slowly. because we are not able to recognize, so we go little, we break up that part into different steps. So we say that you start from the beginning, you look at the neck joint, yes. I look at the neck joint. That I is changing plus unchanging. Light in hand. Follow this. Simply, I would say you follow even by thinking. It will work. The mind is always curious to know every detail. So, mind is a mixture of the two perceiving the neck joint. So, you have an experience, and that experience is sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Don't lose hold of partially known and partially unknown. That awareness continues throughout the of movie of what? Movie of looking at the neck joint, feeling the neck joint, experiencing the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. What is left after that? It is something I dropped my left hand. I believe you're getting into it. It's a funny, but it's a wonderful moment. Let us see again. Movie. Let me start playing the movie. Look at the shoulder joints. Very good. Plot. Look inside the shoulder joint. So I'm asking you to invoke the feeling. Looking inside is just invoking the feeling. My master used to say that I tell 99% of the lie because I have to work through the false eye. Why? Because you are so much engaged in the false eye to get rid of it. So I have to speak a lie. And that, so you're looking inside movie, another plot. You experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It is still an act in the plot. You experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Plot gone. What is left? So, mind continues to see that the experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness is left. But the fact is, the left hand is dropped. Mind lives into that state of awareness. That is why I experience being comfortable. Now you see how much lie I'm speaking on Mondays and Thursdays session, but it is required. Another movie. I'm just making you aware so that you start watching. Oh, the moment I wake up, I saw many movies. I became the movie problem. I remain untouched by the movie. Can you can you see the state where you will live? Another movie. Another plot in the movie or movie, you can say. So, looking at the entire body, action part, you see, looking at the entire body, feeling the sensation, comfort, and steadiness, or experiencing the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Light was there before you saw the left hand. Light was there when you saw the left hand. Light is still there after you don't see the left hand. Are you clear? So one movie part. So when I experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness, I naturally move to that light of awareness. Why am not able to move? Superimposition, delusion, illusion, strong likes and dislikes, colored glasses. So you mean to say it is happening at every moment? Yes. Throughout the day? Yes. And then we get agitated. We say, I get agitated because of you. You are responsible for it. You see, I'm just translating what we discussed. So during the day, you are doing anything. Can you be aware? Oh, this is going to be another play. I have to play my move, play a role here, get it done, finished. But that real I will continue to be present there. One more aspect, perhaps I did not say. This movie depends on the screen, but the screen does not depend on the movie. My awareness of my left hand depends on the light of awareness, but light does not depend on my left hand. Why I said so? Look at the thoughts and feeling and emotions. Thought is aware of the thought, not possible. So all the thoughts are coming and going, it's a part of the movie. But awareness, because I say I'm aware of the mind, I say that I'm wandering. What thing you have to, what needs to be understood? I am not, my mind is not wandering. I am not wandering. That I is mixed up. How to separate? By knowing it, by understanding it. Can you treat the mind like your pet with a leash? That leash is your discernment. You have given total freedom to the mind, whatever it thinks and goes, but within a confined territory. What is that confined territory? It is your discernment. What is that discernment? I am none of my thoughts. That is what people, teachers in our traditions, let the thought come, let the thought go. But if you lose the territory, there will be a superimposition. Then you will say, I see the left hand, now I see nothing. That is the key. Can I live into that state all the time? Yes. We have to regularly contemplate and reflect to reach to that state. Look at the breath, another movie. Whatever is changing does not continue in the past, present, and the future. Does not give you the idea that it is all pervading. It belongs to the movie. Movie simply means, hours, duration, minutes doesn't make any difference. Movie is a movie. From one event, it changes to the second event. Clear? Yes, clear. So I see the breath going in. Now I see the breath is coming out. I see the next breath going in. That is different from the first breath. No, it is the same. No, it is not the same. You cannot step into the river twice. With that awareness, you see it. And if you see with that awareness, you are already there. You have separated. What separated? You have separated. I can say false I with the real I. I can say the changing with the unchanging. I can see the light. I can say that light of awareness with my left hand present, left hand absent. When we understand clearly the three, the world outside, individual, and the existence or the supreme consciousness, are they really three? Or the entire universe is playing different plots for me to evolve? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We enter into another movie of sharing your experiences, but the real existence remain as it is. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both your palms, place it in your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. How are you, Sami?
Sir, whatever you said was it was reality of life, which happens to everyone every day. But when we do meditation, we start experiencing all these things, and
Yes.
we can differentiate that this is imposition, superimposition, and this is that. And the mind, when it starts going inside, it starts pulling you inside. Means it most of the times when you are alone, it wants to go inside. Otherwise, before it used to go outside in unnecessary thinking, and now it wants to go inside. And because the mind knows that the things will resolve according to their own, means there is a system of things which will go according to its own, means way. So nothing will happen with my unnecessary thinking.
Beautiful.
So it's
Yes, beautiful. What do you see? The left hand plus light. That is the meaning of going inside. Simple. Where you go inside, you'll find the bone and the blood and the nerves. We are not talking of that. We are talking of going inside. Do you see now the definition? Clear understanding? What do you see? I see the left hand plus light. I'm aware of the light. In communication, you see that you say that, I see the light. I see the left hand. That is what he is saying. Moving inside. Yes, you picked up the right thing. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you. My summary of the session is that our mind perceives reality through a number of filters using beliefs, education, knowledge, past impressions, etc. And these filters distort the reality. And the mind is not fast enough, not focused enough to see that the perceived reality is constantly changing. So the mind creates an illusion of stability in this perceived reality, in perceived objects, and it starts relying on the imagined stability. And these inevitably leads to suffering because sooner or later the change manifests and the illusion of stability is destroyed. And the solution is to be aware and to remain aware at all times of this movie of endless delusions that is constantly generated by the mind.
Beautifully said. Beautifully narrated. So these movies are playing all the time. You inserted me, you appreciated me. What a wonderful movie it is. If I see that as a movie, there is no problem. But but if I say this is what the reality is, what is the reality? Insert. What is the reality? Appreciation. Appreciation, you boost your ego. Insert, you are also boosting your ego in that. Do you see that? How dare you say, you have created such an image about me? I am such a fantastic person. You do the same thing which I do. there, there is nothing fantastic. You see that in order to reach to that state of the mind, we need to follow the journey continuously, without fail, regularly. Beautifully said, Dennis. How are you, Steve? Stephen, yeah. Stephen, both are okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'll answer to either one. Thank you. Um, at the very end of when we came out of meditation, a thought popped into my head that basically said, we're always trying to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
And that best version of ourselves is the real self, and that's the only version of ourselves. And it all came from everything that was said today that engaged the false I, the perception, accepting things as they are, not putting the past impressions as the rosy glasses and all that. So it all invoked this concept of, you know, the version of our best self, and I appreciate the lesson. And my meditation was extremely quiet till that thought at the very end. So thank you.
Beautiful. You rightly used the rosy glasses. So no, I'm just joking for everyone. And we have to remove these rosy glasses inside our home also, as much as outside. If we don't remove those rosy glasses, the movie will continue. Movie will identify, as the Dennis is saying. So that demands a lot of awareness and attention. And that is why the master says if you are a seeker with prerequisites you fulfill, you can move ahead. Beautifully said, yes. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Love today's lesson. There was just lots of different metaphors, examples. Dennis, I think, thank you. You really articulated it well. The glasses metaphor, the movie metaphor, everything just leads towards we need to just be an observer in this world and in our life, and just clean our glasses and step back and not have attachments when we're watching the movies, and just review and observe. My meditation was very, very deep, and I leave the meditation very energized. Thank you.
Beautifully said. Let me conclude, one point that I use many metaphors. Take only one metaphor. Just be aware of the change. How the change takes place by thought, speech, and action. The moment I think, I speak, I act. There is a change. Now become aware of the entire plot. Plot in the movie. That is simple metaphor. Plot in the movie. What is the plot in the movie for me? I'm talking to you. The changing is taking place. Once I have spoken, I'll be silent. I will address Jerry. Now you speak. So another plot started. Yes, Jerry. You.
Sir, the meditation was really deep. The idea that we are only able to see and experience the changes because we're conscious. And therefore, the desire to know consciousness, even though we can't see it, but to really know and have that tremendous faith that that's what we are and that's what all of us are.
Yeah.
Then we go through this play and this life and all the experiences rooted in that. And it changes our way of showing up in the world.
Yeah, beautifully said. Yes, that is what, the first thing I picked up, I discussed about I am plus I am aware of you. There are two parts. So when I am aware of, that is the changing part, and that I am is unchanging part. That is unchanging part. We miss it. And second point, underlying reality is the consciousness. Underlying reality is the consciousness, and that is what we say the supreme consciousness. There is a mixture of the false I and the real I. It is an individual. And the world will continue to remain as the earth will remain as the earth, air will remain as an air. But why it is there? By understanding that these three factors, the individual, the universe, and the transcendental universe, we can easily find the answers. So we are going to do that. Beautifully said. Thank you. So how are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. There's a famous international film festival in the town where I live this weekend. called True False, actually. And to Dennis's point, I would go see a film called Endless Delusions, I think, yeah, like, I mean, because that's what this is. And I think all of us in this group have been around long enough to know that the house, the relationship, the shirt, none of it is going to make us whole, make things better. So it was another really great lesson today. And my meditation was good. Thank you.
Good. Endless delusion. Yes, I've been telling you, the moment you wake up in the morning, my honey made me sick. If you recognize it is a movie, you are free. My honey made me happy. That is also a movie. Question is challenging. Can I remain aware of all the movies, plots, since I wake up in the morning until I'm pretty tired, to movie. Oh, that is a movie. It means I will not miss the session. I will attend the session. No, I'm just telling. Now I have an urgent work. That is also a movie. Which one is more urgent? To find your real self or that work? No, how are you, Terry?
Good. It's
Good, yes.
para, a paradox.
Paradox, yes. That is why my master used to say that the spirituality and awakening is located in the paradox logic of the intellect. That is why the intellect at last cannot find it. Paradox logic is always there. Paradox. We have couple of paradox logic in science also. Like Dennis will speak for hours. The electron behave as a particle, but also as a wave. Yeah, it's a beautiful paradox. I studied in my graduation, and so I remember this. So the same paradox. And there are many layers of paradoxes, and they causes the superimposition, delusion of reality. They make me feel that this is stable, this is constant. I have $1 million in the bank account, I will continue to live. Or the next day something happens, Another plot. Nature does that plot to us. That nature is also known as the world. We will understand clearly what is this world. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We all are evolving beautifully.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.